They come with a variety of sides to choose from, and they're really an option for everyone. Oh my god! Wow. This is amazing. I think we have a happy customer right here. So listen to what your bathroom is telling you and take it from this to this in one day with no stress and no mess. Or maybe it's trying to tell you something else. Thinking the issue, take back the peace of mind.
We're going to call this meeting to order. So the first item on the agenda is award and recognition of Mayor Mark Beckman. So I'm going to ask Mayor Beckman to come up. Okay, so.
I just made it.
Oh, okay. Is Kevin come? You heard you? So, we just wanted to, we're here just to say thank you to Mark Beckman for his hard work and achievement as a public servant. So that's what this is all about. So public service supports the democratic process. It allows governments to develop and implement policies. It helps to support long-term public interest and active citizenship in accordance to the law. Public service is a human institution where individuals are motivated to make things better for their community. In this space of public service, we are our most humane and our most vulnerable. In doing this work, we struggle some days and we succeed in others. Mistakes are made, but magic also happens. In this place where we stand as servants, we also stand as leaders. Thank you, Mark, for your leadership, your 3 years as mayor, in addition to the time that you served on the city council. And thank you for being a servant to the city of Normandy. I pray your strength and peace in your retirement and for this effort and time and energy that you've given our community. God bless you.
Well, thank you so much.
So we have a proclamation for you. It reads, whereas Mark Beckman was sworn in as mayor of the city of Normandy, Missouri on April 6, 2021, whereas he has served 3 years, and whereas Mark Beckman joined the city council of the city of Normandy on April 22nd, 2008, where he served for 6 years, and whereas Mark Beckman was a graduate of Normandy High School and a Normandy resident for 15 years, and whereas Mark Beckman has faithfully and passionately performed his duties as an elected public official, and whereas the city of Normandy wishes to commemorate Mark Beckman as a service to the city. Now therefore let it be resolved that the city of Normandy wishes to extend its heartfelt gratitude and congratulations to Mark Beckman upon his forthcoming retirement.
It's been an honor to serve, and I really. What's that? Oh. More?
Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Chief Sanders with the Normandy Police Department. When we heard that Mayor Beckman was retiring from office, I personally felt very saddened. Mark Beckman has brought a refreshing air of integrity and a refreshing air of organization and commitment to the city that we had long since been lacking. I've been with the city for over 15 years. And in the time that Mayor Beckman came in as mayor, he really kind of did an overhaul with City Hall. He brought in qualified people to run all the different divisions of the agency, from the police department to, for the first time in over a decade, a city administrator, city clerk. He got Normandy engaged with the Municipal League again, and he's just made so many great strides on behalf of the city. And his report card is something that everyone can see from where we were 3 years ago to where we stand now, where we have organized meetings with a community and a council and people that collaborate and work well together. But for my own personal reasons, I felt very sad because I thought, who's going to fix our roof? So I want to spend a little bit of time telling you guys about some of the unsung things that Mayor Beckman has done for us, the police department, and why the police department gathered together and we got a plaque for Mayor Beckman and why we're going to miss him greatly. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Hosel Park, one of the largest parks in the city limits of Normandy that's in Ward 2, the plumbing breaks in there in the wintertime and it floods. And it's a community staple where a lot of people go and they rent out the park, and kids and people in the neighborhood go up there and they utilize Hosel Park. Mayor Beckman has countless times gone up there and actually replaced drywall, fixed plumbing, and actually fixed things at Hosel Park, from the concession stand to the restrooms. Mayor Beckman climbed on top of the roof and realized why the ceiling was leaking above my office. There was a bullet lodged in there from people shooting. And Mayor Beckman has patched our roof. When the air conditioning goes out in the police department, these officers are wearing 30 pounds of gear and the temperatures go up over 80, 90 degrees in that squad room. They can't work. We have prisoners. We have standards that we have to meet. Mayor Beckman goes out back, lifts up his sleeves and starts fixing on the air conditioning unit to make sure we have air conditioning. He walks into City Hall and he brings water. The other day we had left a ceremony and Mayor Beckman was dressed very nicely, and just as an accolade to, or a testament to what he's willing to do, we got the ATVs back. The ATVs have been out of service for several years, and they've been a community staple that we like to put into parades and we like to put into community events. We had just gotten them back, got brand new tires on them, and one of them wouldn't break free. And in a dress shirt with a tie on, Mark Beckman came out there in 90-degree heat and was like sitting up on this ATV trying to break the brakes free so we could get the ATV rolling. There's nothing that he can't do. I know that the leaf back was down. Mayor Beckman was up there fixing the leaf back. He was hooking up the plow for the shovel in the wintertime. There's so many unsung things in government that he did, that he went above and beyond and did not have to do. And it's because of him he made life bearable for not just the people in this building, the employees, but also the citizens of Normandy. I just want to give him credit for the many things that he's done that no one would ever know about. And so he was in the office, he was boots on the ground, he was in here daily, and he never asked for a full-time mayor's salary. He was just a full-time unpaid mayor. And we, you know, that's hard to come by. Commitment to government is one thing, but commitment to people is another thing. And he's exemplified so much commitment, even just to me, for people who remember back in July of 2021. Mayor Beckman stood, he had integrity, and he's truly the reason why I'm standing here, him and the constituents of the city and their support of me personally. So on a personal note, it hits my heart in a sad place that he's leaving, but I know he's moving on to better things. And he's got us going in a proper direction, the appropriate direction to do great things going forward because of his leadership. So the plaque that we have for him says, in honor of Mayor Mark Beckman, in recognition of your exemplary leadership, unwavering integrity, and dedicated service to the city of Normandy, your commitment to excellence has made a lasting impact on our community. Thank you for your outstanding contributions. June 2024.
You're too kind. Thank you.
Hey, don't forget dragging the field so the kids can play baseball.
Yeah, dragging the field up at Hosell Park for Redbird rookies to play. He's done so many things that people just don't know about.
Thank you.
Thank
That's very
you.
kind. And thank all of you for the confidence that you put in to me to serve in this position. I really appreciate it. And I do want to, at this time, ask for the same confidence and respect and support. There you are. I'm passing the gavel to Councilwoman Campbell, and like I said, if the council would please support and give her the help she'll need to get, it can be a daunting task. So thank you everybody so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Well, we just met. Thank you. I appreciate it. Dennis, thank you. All right, Charles. Appreciate it. Yeah, I could tell. You knew what you were doing. Thanks.
Right, so, we're gonna open up the public hearing for application for a liquor license for Honey's Wine Bar at 7312 Natural Bridge. I believe.
I'll start. Good evening, council. So before we get started with the liquor license hearing, I just wanted to give some brief facts about the application that was submitted for liquor license. So we received an application for Honey's Wine Bar, official legal name E&H Enterprises, and the owner is Marcia Harris West. We recently approved zoning approval for Honey's Cafe and Wine Bar down at 7312 Natural Bridge. This application is for the sale of liquor of all kinds and all kinds on Sunday. So this is the highest level of liquor license that we offer. And Ms. Harris, who's the owner of the business, consented to a background check, and she has not been convicted of any felonies, and so is otherwise eligible for the liquor license application, or for a liquor license. And we have not received a protest from neighbors within 200 feet, whether business or residents or property owners. So we have no protest on file, so a simple majority of the council will suffice. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna have Ms. West come to the podium. There's some questions that we have to ask her under the code. And then the council will have a chance to ask her any questions that you guys wanna know. And then she'll have an opportunity to produce any testimony about her character if anything's still kind of unsettled. And then anybody who is a resident within 200 feet of the location or a business owner or property owner within 200 feet of the location will also have a chance to come and speak. And that will conclude the public hearing, and then later on in the meeting, we'll actually have a vote on the liquor license. So I'm gonna ask Ms. Harris-West to come to the podium. And we do have to swear you in, so Kiana's gonna swear you in.
Will you please raise your right hand? Please, will you please state your name for the record?
Marsha Harris-West.
Okay. And is this gentleman also going to be speaking on behalf of the
Yes,
application?
he's on.
Will you please raise your right hand and state your name for the record?
Eugene Holly.
Do you swear to speak to the truth to the best of your ability?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Ms. West, I've just got a few questions that I have to ask underneath the code. Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
No.
All right. Have you had a liquor license revoked from you in the past 2 years?
No.
All right. Have you ever been convicted of a liquor violation relating to the sale or manufacture of liquor?
No.
All right. Those are the only questions that I have to ask, so at this time, if the council has any questions, now would be the
So
time.
now, we'll just go down the line and we'll start with Steve, if you have any questions.
No, I don't.
I don't have anything.
No.
I have a question now. Your liquor license consists of just serving, just for liquor license, right? So you're not gonna be serving to-go items, right?
Liquor to go?
Yeah, liquor to
No.
go. Okay.
No, I don't have any.
I'm fine, thank you.
No questions.
All right, I actually have some more questions. Sorry about that. Are you are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes.
All right. Are you a qualified legal voter?
Yes.
All right. And are you a tax-paying citizen of the city?
Yes.
All right. And then, do you plan to conduct your retail liquor business in compliance with the laws of the state of Missouri and this
Yes.
code? All right, that's all I have.
Okay.
So now we'll open it up to the citizens, if anybody wants to come to the podium and ask questions or give any testimony. Please state your address, your name and your address, if you do come to the podium. Anyone?
Board, how we doing? My name is Kenneth Moore, 7220 South Roland. I just had a few questions about the landscaping down there at Honey's. I know the city spent a lot of money putting that roundabout in there. And if you look at all the shrubbery going up this way, it's manicured and what it's supposed to be. But down on this end, like in front of the bar, in front of the restaurant, Honey's, it's a bush that's been planted that looked like it's never been trimmed in 10 years. That it's a small bush, but now it's a big bush. And then there's a flower pot there that all,
Are you asking questions specifically about the liquor license, or are you asking questions about the land, like who owns what? And who manicures what at the circle?
oh, I'm just speaking for Honey, so I'm just asking, is it okay if we update the landscaping over there? And, you know,
So, right,
Yeah, that's a
So right now, that's not this part of the meeting.
Okay.
You can do that during citizen comments, but this is the public hearing specifically
Okay.
for the liquor license.
Okay.
So if you have comments on like whether or not Ms. Harris should have or not have, that's what we're asking for comments on.
No, we need business in the neighborhood.
No, but I'm saying,
Yeah,
you
so
can
I'm
do
fine.
that
I'll
at
come
the,
back.
when we do the regular
Okay.
meeting at the citizen
All right,
comments part.
sorry about that. All right.
Anyone else?
I'm Terry Gannon. I own a commercial building at the Fountain.
Excuse me, Miss Dan.
Oh.
I guess we have to swear you in too.
Oh.
So,
Because I'm testifying?
because you're within
Because you're
200
within
feet.
200.
Oh, 200 feet.
Okay.
I am in within 200 feet. Oh,
And please state your name for the record.
Terry Gannon. My real name?
What's your business address?
7320. 18 through 20. No, 16 through 20. Natural Bridge. No, Florissant Road.
Okay.
It looks like Natural Bridge.
And then you can just. Do you swear to tell, speak to the truth to the best of your ability?
Yes. I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Okay,
No,
as an owner of a business at the Fountain there, I just want to welcome them. I hope that their business does very well. I don't have a problem with a liquor license as long as they handle their business well and respect the community and the people that it serves. I think we do need good businesses in our neighborhood. I'm excited to see a restaurant come in because we do need more of that kind of thing in the neighborhood. So I would be in support of this as long as they do good business and a family-friendly business and comply with our laws.
All right.
Anyone else? So this closes the. This closes the public hearing, portion of the meeting for the application for liquor license for Honey's Wine Bar at 7312 Natural Bridge. So now we're gonna call our regular meeting to order. We do have a few items that have been added.
Roll call.
Oh, sorry, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Soxenheimer?
Here.
Councilwoman Cleveland?
Here.
Councilman Jackson?
Here.
Councilman Evans?
Here.
Councilwoman Shivers, I'm sorry.
Present.
Councilman Nelson?
Present.
Councilwoman Campbell?
Here.
Councilwoman Valle? Here. You have a quorum.
Thank you. What part am I on? Oh, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The mission and vision of Normandy. The city of Normandy will be a safe and family-friendly community that is the historic heart of North St. Louis County with a business corridor that attracts visitors from the entire region. Mission. The mission of the city of Normandy is to provide a high level of public service and to grow the community through transparent, accountable, and professional governance. Our values are professionalism, integrity, transparency. Our mission statement is that we will uphold our values by being an example of effective municipal government through building a professional team of city officials and staff dedicated to serving the residents of Normandy with integrity and transparency. So the agenda for tonight has two additional items that were added. So if you look at your old one versus your new one, there's a 9 and a 10. And I need a motion to amend the agenda.
So moved.
All right, a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So the first, we have approval of the minutes. Approval of the minutes of the June 11, 2024 regular city council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Did we approve the agenda and who was the first and second? I'm sorry.
I
You were
moved
first.
the
That
first.
was the second.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Wait, I think that was the motion to amend.
Okay, it's a motion to amend.
Yeah.
So we need a motion.
Now I need a motion to approve.
Yes.
Okay.
As amended, yeah.
Okay, so can I have a motion to approve as amended? Can I
Second.
get a second?
Second.
Now, vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Now, okay, approval of minutes of the June 11, 2024 regular city council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
Motion, please, second.
Second.
Any corrections, anybody? All right. Let's see. Do it again. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Approval of the minutes of the June 27, 2024 city council workshop. Motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Any corrections? All right. All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Now citizen comments. Where did Mr.
Councilman
Moore
Crawford? I have the second.
go? I think he left. Mr. Moore. Yeah, okay. Okay, who's first?
Okay, is this Carolyn Swoop? Would you like to make a public comment? I'll wait till next. Okay. Julia Boré.
Hello,
Hey.
my name is Julia Boré. I live at 7816 Rosedale Drive. I've been in Normandy for 15 years now, and I like our community. I'm glad we're getting honeys. I got a postcard from them, and it was nice. It was really nice, letting us know that they're coming to the community. And it's an event, I guess it'll be an event space. You all will have events. They'll have events. That's really good. We need that. I am a community activist, have been for quite a long time, and I'm concerned about our youth in our communities. What are we gonna do for them? How are we going to change the narrative for our children? We see the news, we see the complaints, we hear the complaints about what they're doing and what they're not doing. I have something for them to do. I have an organization that would accommodate them very nicely with wraparound services. We're grassroots. We're fairly new as an organization. We are a full 501c3. I'd like for, if there's a time that we could talk about some of the buildings in Normandy, some space, so that we can give our children some programs that will change the trajectory of their lives. That's wherever we are has to offer. So that's my spiel, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Terry Gann.
I have to say my whole thing again? Oh, okay, thanks. All right. First of all, I think this came up at the last city meeting. The church, Murchison, has been working really hard to get their property cleaned up, and their side yard backs to the city-owned property, and my backyard backs to the city-owned property. This weekend, they got out there and I got out there and we cleaned off all our fences. And they cleaned off their part of the city fence on their side. But it's too weedy and poison ivy to get in there to do the city side of the fence, and plus it's not our property. So the Murchison and I are both asking that the city get in there, and this guy just came in with a weed whacker and he just like buzzed the fence and took it all down. It really didn't even hardly take an hour for us to get all that down and pull it out, and then they took weed killer and put it on the fence. So it'd be nice if the city could do that on your property. Okay, that was the first thing. So the other thing, and this is I think a great announcement. I don't know, some of you know that I've been working with the realtors and Kevin Windham, who's our state representative, Brian Williams, our state senator, to get land banks legislation passed. And today, ta-da, the governor signed the bill. Yes. So this allows, when we started this, it was just going to be for St. Louis County. And then people in Springfield heard we were doing this and they said, we want this legislation. And then people in Kansas City said, we've been trying to do this. So they wanted legislation. And so people in Columbia said they wanted it. So there were so many pictures. I'm going to post it on my Facebook as soon as I get done here tonight or maybe tomorrow. So many people at the signing of this legislation because it is a landmark land banks legislation. St. Louis City has the LRA, and they are the oldest land bank in the United States. But this gives all the municipalities, counties, whoever wants to establish a land bank in St. Louis County to do that. This legislation also had other things piggybacked on it: historic tax credits, protecting Small Business Act, and removal of unlawful occupants or squatters from property they don't own. And then the last thing it does is it allows, it prohibits HOAs from regulating chickens. Cities can regulate chickens, homeowners associations cannot regulate chickens. So anyway, that was state legislation passed today, signed by the governor. So.
Good job.
Thank you.
Pat Billy,
Nothing.
Joyce McGrath.
I really didn't have, but I will now be coming.
Hello, everyone. Joyce McGrath, 7727 Nokomis, 35 years plus resident. Just a question, since we have just a sample of folks here tonight, is there any plan to maybe put out a newsletter or even just a one-pager with some bullet points saying, here's what's happening, we need to, notify our citizens. That's all I needed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Mr. Moore here?
Here, we're in the corner. Mr.
I'm
Moore?
sorry.
No, the other man that stood up there.
Kenneth Moore that was
Yeah.
speaking earlier.
Kenneth Moore?
I'll speak for him.
You just come.
He had another meeting to attend, so he stepped out. But, how you doing? I'm Andre Hickman. What Kenneth Moore was asking, right in front of 7312 Natural Bridge, is a bush that's growing out of control. It's a tree that's pretty much just hanging on the sidewalk. And it's a flower pot on the end of the building that is growing out of control. So he was wondering if you guys can, like when they cut the grass over there, if they can manicure the trees and the bush. And if not, then if that's our responsibility, we just need to know that's our responsibility. And we'll take care of it. But it's just a manicure thing that probably needs to be taken care of as soon as possible.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn Swope.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Carolyn Swope. I live on 915 Bermuda Drive. I'm kind of new in the neighborhood, in America, period, actually. And my background is community social work, community organization, and I have a lot of ideas for our community. And I want to know, who do I go to with some of my ideas to unify our community more, community projects. I have Google of ideas, that's what I do. In addition to that, my husband, I'm speaking on his behalf with this one. He wanted to know what's going on with moving trash, like big items, couches and stuff like that. If residents have them, once upon a time it was a day where you can put it outside. What happened to that? Can we re-implement it? That's pretty much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What, am I gonna get an answer?
Not now.
Oh.
If you want, did they leave their telephone numbers also? So I'll call them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll also call them.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? So this concludes the citizen comments portion of the meeting. Now on to report of officers. So,
Yeah.
right. So, as everyone knows now, Mark has stepped down, and I'll be assuming the role of Mayor Pro Tem. And so what I wanted to do is just give everybody an idea of, if you don't know who I am. I usually sit at the end. So I've been a resident of Normandy for 6 years. I was elected to the city council in April of 2021. I came in with Mark. I'm a Ward 4 councilwoman, and I'll still continue to do that role as well. So I'm gonna serve as your temporary mayor. So it's my goal right now, I have 3 goals that I would like to see for the city. I would like to see refined communication paths and modes between the city and residents. I would like to see valuable and responsive regulation enforcement and systematic policies and procedures, and also a proliferation of community involvement, including our boards and commissions. So all of that, to me, works together under the umbrella of transparency and professionalism. So it's important that we all go forward and we move Normandy forward. I have no interest in moving backwards. I have no interest in engaging in whisper politics. I just want everyone in our community to go forward, and to do that, we need to make sure that we're always looking for things for our community to do, looking for economic development, looking for those things. So if there is anything that you feel like in the past you have some evidence of, or somebody has done something, please take that to the authorities. I am not the person for that. I am not the authority. But what I do want to see is, I want to see us go forward, and I want to see us go forward together. It is my intention to educate the community. I encourage everybody that's sitting here, and also to tell your neighbors, you should read Code E360 for Normandy, so that you understand our ordinances, and so that you understand what the history behind the laws of Normandy are. That's really important for you to understand. That's how I got into public office and being a public servant. It's also important that if you see opportunities where you can do like the citizen police academy, that you attend those things, you come to meetings. Those are the things that I want to see our community doing. I want to see resolutions with problems, not just problems, but come with a suggestion, come with like, I think we should do this, or I think we should do that. And I encourage you also, if you have anyone coming to you and saying this is what's wrong, to ask them, then what is your solution to it? You know, because negativity breeds negativity. So with all of that being in mind, I want to see Normandy a place where we can have homeowners, where people come back and their kids buy homes, and that we have generational home ownership. I am planning on having a Meet the Mayor event on Thursday, July 18th, from 11 to noon, and then another one on Friday, on July 19th, from 6 to 7, and it's gonna be here. So just, if people wanna meet me, ask questions or anything like that, just know who I am. That is completely fine. We do have a jazz night coming up on October 5th. And we also have a Shakespeare in the Park coming up on August 7th. The Citizens Police Academy is in full effect and is going. That's a great opportunity for people to understand the laws and everything behind policing and where you live in your community. We do have a newsletter that I'm planning on getting out in August. So that's gonna be coming up. Also, the other thing that you guys need to know about, we're gonna start talking about the budget. The budget workshop is gonna we're gonna start those talks July 24th. So workshops are where we talk about how things that we want to see done. You can come, you can listen, and everything. You can give your input. There is an opening on planning and zoning. Tim Dully has stepped down. So if anyone is interested in applying for the position, please come to City Hall and fill out an application. Also, we are looking for citizens to serve on the Code Enforcement Committee along with City Council people for community input. The committee hasn't started up yet, but if you are interested in doing that, please email me. My email is ycampbell@cityofnormandy.org. And the last and final thing is, there is a Federation of Black Units Urban League Expo on Friday, July 19th, and Saturday, July 20th. They will be giving out health screenings, they will be doing free haircuts, they will be doing a career fair, they will be doing free book bags and school supplies. So that is gonna be at America Center on Friday, July 19th to Saturday, July 20th, if anyone's interested. And that is it. So I'm gonna start at the first ward and go down.
Well said.
I'm good, I have nothing.
It's just a comment from me. And forgive me, police, our chief, but can we do something about the 4th of July? I feel like I was in a war zone of 4th of July. It was so bad that everything that they could actually pop or shoot, it was done. And Ward 1 was like smoke. So I know you can't send the police every time someone pops something. I get that, but I'm hoping that we can try something. I don't know what we can do, but it was so bad on the 4th of July. It was just.
I'll address it during my report.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
I want to say something about the trash in the park. We got to do better. We don't have the park open on the weekends, and we're not able to pick that trash up. We might as well close it down and put a fence around it. Everybody utilizes that park, so we got to find a way to do something better and keep it clean. We keep talking about it, keep talking about trash, it's falling over. It looked like a mess this weekend. Like a mess this weekend, so that's where I'm at. So we can't do better, we're gonna end up having to close the park down. Second, over on I wanna say San Diego, San Marcos, I get those streets confused, but it's the brush on the backside of Pasadena Hill. We need to find out whose property that is.
Normandy's?
Our residents should not have to look at that.
No comments, please.
Our residents should not have to look at it, and I've said it before, and I'm gonna keep saying it until it's done. If we're not able to do it, we need to pay somebody to do it, because the residents don't like looking at all that brush, like they're second-class citizens.
You said it's the brush on the backside.
On the backside of Pasadena Hill, if you go down San Diego, come back up Santa Monica, all that brush.
That's where the
And you got the
wall is.
apartments over there on the left-hand side. But they have like fences Pasadena Hill, so it has to be normally the apartments, the guy that cuts the grass for the apartments, he cuts that part on that side.
That was grass.
That grass, and that, so it's just something we need to find out.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
I'm okay, yeah, no comment. Took your time, but.
I do have a comment, going back to when my election signs are out in the yard. And I'm addressing our city administrator, Mr. Sam Johnson.
Before we go through that, that's actually something that is not part of the ward report. But if you, I have talked to a few people about it, so you and I can get together and talk about that. And we can talk about it with Sam.
It's not a war report?
No, that's not a ward report.
War reports are current.
So if you want to get together with me and Sam and with Kiana, and I know I talked to Mr. Lawrence, and we can all talk about that.
Mr. Who?
Maybe
Mr. Lawrence.
Maybe you can address it.
We can all talk about that, but right now, that's not like a word. Okay. So if you have like events, or you have like something that's going on in your neighborhood, like you have a meeting, like if you have a concern about like Kevin was saying about like trash or something like that, that you need to address like that.
Well, concerning the leaves, I've had leaves that have been out there since they were supposed to start picking up, which was back in, if I recollect, November, and they still weren't picked up.
So in your neighborhood?
No, this
is just your house.
I have a residential home. I'm a homeowner.
So
47 years.
So that would be,
Uh-huh.
so, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
that would be something that you would actually call public employment. But I didn't explain it to you. Is it something like for your whole world?
Okay, there's two that I've been knocked out of speaking.
So maybe when
It's not that I'm trying to knock you out, it's that I'm trying to make it so that it's about the whole ward and not just your house. So like,
Well,
it's,
it is more than my home.
okay.
It's residents on.
So that's what I'm
Springdale.
saying, is it the entire ward where the leaves are not getting picked up, and that's something that we need to address in
Yeah,
the city?
it's
Okay.
not the entire ward, but
Majority,
residents in my ward.
Okay.
Okay, so what's going on with the leaves being picked up in the winter?
Problem with the big boy, November,
So the leaves are.
Right.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes. Yeah, I have a few things. I got a few calls from residents, my tremendous residents, Third Ward. We have, want to address this to Sam, our code violations. I got a call from residents on Oakmont that stated that there were barbecue pits on the front, as well as on Contour. I have a problem with the Water Canyon that's on 7828 Contour. We've gone over that for like 3.5 years, and now the person is driving past the Water Canyon into the neighbor's yard. And if it's wet, you know what happens to your yard when someone drives in it. So I think we need to address that with our code violations. And other than that, that's pretty much it at this point. I appreciate the citizens coming today, and I just appreciate your coming, so thank you very much.
Did you say the barbecue pits were a Contour or Oakmont?
No, Oakmont. Oakmont,
Thank you.
and the code violations.
On Contour.
Yeah, since that property in front of Honey's is in the 4th Ward, I want to speak to that bush. That is not a bush that anybody planted. That is an invasive species of bush honeysuckle that needs to be completely eradicated because it's a terrible weed. It causes a lot of problems. And it should not be there at all, and I believe the city ought to take care of that. It needs to be chopped down, it needs to be sprayed, it needs to be dug up and reseeded in that area. The second thing that I have to talk about is kind of a sad news. Some people may know her, but others don't. A long-term resident of Glen Echo Park, the former Glen Echo Park, died recently. That was Carol Chickey. And Carol lived in this community for close to 60 years. She raised all her kids there. Her memorial service is going to be at the Country Club on Sunday, and if anybody wants that information, please contact me and I can give you the time.
Thank you. And city administrator.
Sure, before my report, I'll just address the question about trash bulk pickup, and I believe Ms. Swope had. Any bulk pickup, they still pick up bulk, Waste Management does, you just have to call ahead. The number is 866-909-4458, and I can get that, yeah, 866-909-4458. And they'll tell you when to put it out and schedule a bulk pickup. And it should be covered in your base fee. If they ask you to pay for it, please contact me and let me know. And
This is, so what's your number?
I'll get you my card after the meeting here.
Thanks.
So, regarding, I just have a few updates. So fiscal year 2025 budget, as President Pro Tem Campbell mentioned, we'll have the first draft of that at the July workshop later this month. Right now, we are in the process of getting our insurance renewals, which probably we won't have all the quotes back before that workshop. But we are seeking quotes from 3 different carriers this year, including to our current carrier, MoFirm, for property and liability coverage. And regarding the Holzell Park grant project, we have an on-site meeting tomorrow morning as a project kickoff meeting. For those who are unfamiliar, we're going to be adding parking spaces to the park. We're going to be restriping the parking lot, doing some light renovation to the bathrooms, and resurfacing the tennis courts to be turned into pickleball and basketball courts. So that kicks off tomorrow morning. They're supposed to complete the contract within 90 days, so we're looking early to mid-October as a completion date for all the renovations. And one last update, we're also working on getting a request for proposals together. We're working with an engineer for the natural bridge medians around the fountains, particularly the raised cast stone footings, getting those replaced with some stamped concrete and reduce some of the weeds that have been popping up, as well as the maintenance cost, and hopefully just have a better look that doesn't seem to get, when a car runs into it, it doesn't trash the whole corridor. So we are putting an RFP together for that, and it should be done by the end of this year. And that's all I have for my report. If there are any questions. Oh, and one last thing regarding San Diego. I'm gonna let Dennis speak to that in his report. I believe we have started work, we just haven't finished it yet. They're working into their schedule, but I'll let Dennis speak to that. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Sam, about the replacements for the surroundings of the fountain and that whole area, you're talking about stamped concrete. Are there gonna be bigger kind of things like they are now, or are they gonna be, what's your idea?
Essentially, and we have some conceptual drawings to kind of show, and I can share those with you.
Okay.
But the idea is, right now we have a lot of raised cast stone footings and we have a lot of landscaping. And those raised cast stone footings are very expensive, so we're just talking about getting rid of those, bringing it down to grade. There still would be curb cutouts where everywhere, but it's gonna be 6-inch curb instead of those 2-foot cast stone fittings. And instead of grass and irrigation, there would be concrete that would be stamped, and I think it's gonna be a brick pattern. So it's still gonna look decorative, but it's gonna be your more traditional type highway, median.
Yeah, it's a little sad, in my opinion. The other thing that we have to be concerned about in terms of putting concrete on permeable surfaces that absorb water right now, is all the water from Natural Bridge, all of it, comes down through Normandy Place and Glen Echo Park, and into the ponds at the country club. That stormwater problem is a serious one. I would like us to go forward with getting a grant proposal to MSD. They've changed the law so we can do that now and get money for it, and deal with the stormwater issues that MSD estimates at about $2.5 million. That would take to control flooding on Normandy Place and parts of the things that we tried to address in the park project in Glen Echo Park a few years ago. But there's serious erosion that can happen. That water, when it's been raining a lot, or when there's a storm comes through fast and heavy, and so houses are getting flooded, and we need to address that. And I think that's part of what the conceptual thing that we need to think about when we're doing any of that resurfacing of the Natural Bridge corridor. We have to look at the environmental effects and the property value effects.
I agree, and of course, we're working on MoDOT right away, so we'll have to, part of the project is gonna be getting a permit from them, and we have to have an engineer do all those calculations, so we'll have that information before the project starts.
All right, thanks.
That's a good question.
Chief of Police?
Good evening. Police Department report spans from Saturday, June 1st through Monday, July 1st. There were 1,745 calls for service during this time period. There were 136 police reports generated. There were 19 police reports taken, 364 citations written, 174 business checks, and housekeeping issues. So I saw some people grabbing the Empowering the Community flyers. Like Mayor Pro Tem Campbell was saying, I came up a couple of meetings ago, the last couple of meetings, and talked about the importance of the Citizens Police Academy and why it's important for the citizens to come out and participate in events like this, and you understand why the police do what they do, what laws there are that protect you, what your rights are, and how the government and legal processes work with regards to encounters that citizens would have with law enforcement officers. What I gleaned from this second Citizens Police Academy that we've done with the surrounding police departments in the 24/1 community is that we're not going to get everybody to come out to Citizens Police Academy. It's not feasible. However, I would like to start something similar to that, and that's what this flyer reflects. We're going to start having a chatting with the chief conversation every other month. We're going to do it here at City Hall. They're going to be an hour long. The agendas will go out in advance of the meeting so you can see what the topics that are going to be discussed are. We're going to talk about things like code enforcement. From the time you make your complaint, what is the process for complaints that go through a code enforcement or go through a law enforcement process? How much time does it take for us to remediate or to eliminate violations from the time that you make your first call until the time that we actually do it? To abate the violation. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about like the ordinances in the city of Normandy. Mayor Pro Tem Campbell recommended that everybody get on the E-Code 360. Everyone's got one of these nowadays. You can actually go online and just type in Normandy E-Code 360. And all of the ordinances in the city of Normandy will pop up, and you'll have them at your fingertips on your phone. You can search by keywords, and we're going to talk about how people can find out information before they buy animals, before they discharge fireworks. What are the laws in the city of Normandy? And I think that if we inform the people, when people know better, they can do better. So the chatting with the chief and empowering the community town hall forums are going to be bi-monthly. We'll have 6 a year. There'll be topics that are relevant to crime trends that are happening in our community. I will be bringing ward-specific crime trends so people can look at their particular wards and see where they stay, see what the hot button issues there are, and then give you guys and empower you guys with strategies to help you avoid becoming a victim of crime. Getting people engaged so that way, see something, say something. The police can't be everywhere at one time, but I've heard a lot of people come to the podium and talk about collaboration. And I think it's important that we collaborate with our constituents and you guys talk to us. We can hear what some of your concerns or issues are. You can actually see the reality, because sometimes perception's reality. You'll look at something and say, this is horrible. But then when you actually see the crime trends and you see that there's no part 1 or part 2 crimes that are occurring in your ward or even on your street, sometimes just looking at the numbers really helps to give people peace of mind, but no less, empowering people to know what to do and how to engage with law enforcement. I think it's also going to be a great opportunity for you guys to meet your police department, meet the police officers outside of the calls for service in a community-oriented fashion. So bi-monthly, the first one is going to be on July 25th. It'll be here in this very room from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Grab a flyer. This is on social media. It's on our Facebook. It's on our Twitter. It's on our Nextdoor. It's everywhere. Share it with your neighbors. The city, I'm sure, will put it on the city's website and on the city's Facebook page as well. If you don't follow us, follow us. There's so much information that comes out on these social media platforms because, again, technology is in everyone's hands, and so you can set yourself up for notifications when something happens to be made aware in real time. The next thing we're doing is we're pushing out a restructuring plan for the police department. It is my goal. I met a lot of the people sitting in this room because of the level of community engagement that I had before I got to the level that I'm at now. And one of the things that I've noticed and that I'm not satisfied with as the chief is the fact that our community engagement is extremely weak. So as a part, it's a small fraction of my restructuring plan, but that fraction is going to delve into getting the police department back on board, getting them engaged in the community. So I know that Mayor Campbell talked about the Shakespeare in the Park event that's coming up. I believe that's on August 7th. Well, police department presence there. The next thing that will come after that, the police department's actually going to bring back Trunk or Treat this year. I don't know for the people who remember Trunk or Treat. We anticipated 300 people and over 1,100 people showed up. It was a great time. So we're bringing back Trunk or Treat this year. We're going to start working on that. We'll need a lot of community volunteers. I have a community engagement division that consists of 4 officers in this department that we're about to stand up, and they're going to be responsible for communicating and coordinating with people like yourself that has a non-for-profit or anyone that has something that's beneficial to the community to kind of link you into the resources that we have access to, but also to get your name out there. We see people in times of crisis, so it's best for us to pass on your information. So I'd love to give you my card and communicate with you after the meeting. So there's Shakespeare in the Park coming up. After Shakespeare in the Park, we're going to do a National Night Out. Normandy's National Night Out got fragmented where, the different wards started kind of having their own, but we're not necessarily 4 wards, we're 1 city. And National Night Out is a city, an entire city, gathering together with their police department as a show of force and a stand of solidarity that we are taking our collective community back. So we're going to bring National Night Out. It's going to be hosted and sponsored by the police department this year. We're bringing that back, and we're doing it citywide, not ward specific. It's the entire city. After that will be Trunk or Treat, and then we'll have the Jazz Festival. So we have lots of events, lots of cool things coming up. I know that there was some talk. I had some residents ask me what happened to the ATVs. There's been some rumors and some whispers. I don't know if you guys saw it parked outside. We couldn't get the other one running. It kept blowing a fuse tonight, but we have 2 of them, and they'll be back in our community events. We've got e-bikes. We're working on getting drones, all types of cool technology to bring the Normandy Police Department up to speed with all of the competing police departments around us, and make sure that we have the resources necessary when things happen in our community, that we can respond effectively to those things. So that's all that I have with regard to we added a resolution to the agenda tonight for us to approve a resolution for Normandy to engage in a contract for a grant that we're writing to the Department of Justice to implement body cameras on all of the officers. We've been in and out of trials under different administrations where we got them for brief periods of time, and then when the trial period was over, the body cameras went back. The officers love the body cameras. I love the body cameras. The community loves the body cameras. We talk about a government that is that's fueled by transparency, and I think that putting the body cameras back in play is huge. So we're hoping to get $50,000 grant for the purchase of body cameras over the next 5 years to actually bring them back on a full-time basis. And then we're actually also standing up a grant writing division in the restructuring plan where we will have full-time people that are just grant writing nonstop to kind of offset some of the places where the budget has shortfalls and we can't get the things that we need. But there's tons of government funds out there, and one of the things we're going to be writing to is the Edward Byrne grant for law enforcement officers, where you can actually propose several projects for a total grant funding amount of like $300 million. So when there's $300 million out there, we got to go get the money. No, that's all I have. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Oh, fireworks, I'm sorry. So with regards to fireworks are unlawful. I put out a flyer, I sent them to all the wards. Ms. Parker delivered it all over her ward. I printed dozens of them, it was on social media. Fireworks are unlawful in all of St. Louis County, not just Norby. If you live anywhere in St. Louis County, fireworks are unlawful. I will continue to say it, and we will continue to enforce it. The officers were under strict instructions on 4th of July and continuing throughout the summer season. Let your neighbors know, it's on our social media, it's everywhere, it's on the city site. If we catch people popping fireworks, while we can't go to every call, we're seizing the fireworks and the resident is going to be cited immediately. There's no room for negotiation. We take the fireworks and you take a ticket. It's an exchange. So I just wanna put that out there, because I know what happens. A lot of people want the enforcement, then we start enforcing and then the complaints start coming in. It is what it is. We've been really lax in the Normandy Police Department in previous years, and so if you get away from a good thing, it kind of takes a little time to get people back on board, and we've got new residents.
Can you give the non-emergency line and
Sure.
and where to call and where not to call?
Absolutely. Okay, so the non-emergency number, we have magnets. I'll go grab a stack, I'll put them over on the table, but for anyone that has a pen handy, the number is 636-529-8210. That is the St. Louis County non-emergency number. So people don't call into the station, because this building, I don't want the officers in this building. If they're in here, they're not protecting and they're not patrolling. We don't have enough people for them to be sitting inside this building. They are outside driving around, they better be. Or protecting this meeting, sitting outside that door. That he's got an excuse. But everyone else better be outside. So call the non-emergency number if it's a non-emergency. When the line answers, it will say, thank you for calling the St. Louis County non-emergency dispatch line. And it'll kind of go through a quick little prompt. Then, when she stops talking, she'll start rolling out options for this division, for that division. When that happens, that's your cue. All you have to do is say, dispatch. She will say, please hold while your call is transferred to a dispatcher. You will go to dispatch, the call goes out to the dispatchers, they actually relay it to an officer in real time. So when you're calling, and those call takers, they are trained to ask the pertinent information. If you see something, they're going to be asking you for physical descriptions, vehicle descriptions, license plates, direction of travel, things that a regular person wouldn't know to ask, but all of those things are critical pieces of information the officers need to know to be able to address the issue concisely. You don't want the officer to, drive past the person that was creating the disturbance because they didn't get a physical description because you didn't call it into the non-emergency number. Use the non-emergency number. For anybody that forgets, we have some seniors where sometimes technology is a little tough and they get into the non-emergency line and they find themselves in a loop and they get kind of wrapped around. If that happens, I just want to say this. You can always just call 911. You're not going to call 911 and the person's going to go, this is a non-emergency. You're calling the wrong line. It's never going to happen. You are getting transferred to a person in the exact same building, the same call center as the non-emergency number. There's literally, the same person that would have answered your non-emergency call might answer your emergency call. It is all going to the same dispatching center. So, when in doubt, you cannot go wrong by just dialing 911. If you call 911, you're not gonna get in trouble for it. It could be for a parking violation. They're gonna say, 911, what's your emergency? There's a parking violation. They're gonna take the same information they would normally take, and we're still going to get the call in real time. So to anyone that doesn't wanna bother with the non-emergency line, just call 911. I know people sometimes get frustrated with the non-emergency line if they don't remember to say dispatch when the queue starts. So that is the appropriate way to reach the police. And you're right, Councilwoman Cleveland, there was a lot of fireworks. It was here on the 4th of July for a spell, and we were seizing fireworks and writing tickets, and that's going to continue.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
About drones. Is it legal to use drones to take pictures for code enforcement?
I would have to research that. I gotta do some research. I don't know that, I mean, the airspace is free, but I don't know what legal expectation of privacy people would have with us flying overhead to do stuff like that. We as the police wouldn't do it. We wouldn't use our drone for anything aside from surveillance in places we have a legal expectation to be.
Well, we have a rooster problem.
I know.
And so and we need a picture, because you often need pictures of things. You always do, before you can go to court and sue somebody over it.
Have we talked to, I'll talk to you after the meeting. I'll just go over and ask her to take a picture of the chicken. I'm sure she'll let me take a picture of the chicken.
Yeah,
Other
but
than-
but on a larger scale, Sam, you were gonna.
I'm not sure of the legal implications, but doing some of these insurance renewals, I know that there are, insurance companies are very interested to know if you have drones or not. So
Okay.
that usually means there's some sort of liability attached to it. So, yeah, right now we don't have any drones.
All right.
And if
Well, I
we do
know,
have
but
one,
you're
we
talking
would
about
only
getting
use it for like advanced call outs, like when we had the armed barricaded subject.
Right.
We had a tactical team that came in, when they use the flashbangs on the window, they use the drone to locate the person that was armed inside of the house. So, I mean, we use it for places where we already have a legal expectation.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to reiterate on, the body cameras. I'm, concerned because we were supposed to be getting cameras on the streets where you could see the cars coming in from out of town, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I see a lot of traffic. I'm out there with my dog, and the traffic is coming over Bermuda, coming down Springdale. It's been doing that for years.
Are you talking about the flock cameras, Councilwoman?
Yes.
Yes.
So we have flock cameras, and we've used the flock cameras to find missing children. Every time we've recovered a stolen vehicle inside of Normandy from another agency, it's been here. Several of our law enforcement contacts, I can actually bring you the statistics on how the flock cameras have helped us. The officers are using them as a crime prevention tool, but we only have 3.
Right, but we were supposed to get one right there. Springdale and Bermuda is a busy intersection.
Yeah, you
We
have an
were supposed
apartment
to get-
complex back there though.
Pardon?
You have an apartment complex at the end of your street though. And there's
Right.
a lot of people that are kind of transient with apartments, you get a lot
Oh,
of
I'm
transient people.
aware of
kinda
that. I've
come in
sat
and out.
out there for many summers and springs and just see the traffic, you know?
Yes, ma'am.
That's not supposed to be there. Then I wanted to also comment, Mr. Sam Johnson, on an ordinance for noise. Since I've, like I said, 47 and a half years, it's supposed to be from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
For construction?
For any, yeah, the noise, It never interfered with me because I was always up at 4:30, 4:45, and I would leave at 6:30. But other residents, they are not on the same schedule as I'm on. So I know it's been very noisy, and I think we should look into that because I knew there was a time slot, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
We're actually looking into beefing up our ordinance regarding noise. Sam and I talked about that the other day.
Okay.
Our ordinance is pretty vague and it doesn't really spell out the different types of noise and the different types of issues. So we're working on enhancing the ordinance to be more specific, tailored to some of the issues that we're dealing with. And with regards to the flock cameras, we put them at all the entryways to the city. So they're at all the crossroads to the city where people come in and out of the city limits of Normandy proper. And the reason we put them there is because that's how everyone gets in and out of the city. If we only had 3 to put up, we wanted to put them Florissant Road and University, Bermuda, and Woodstock, and then the last one's at Lucas and Hunt. And then, thank goodness, Bellry Bakers put up block cameras. They put one at Hanley and Natural Bridge. So any way that someone comes up Natural Bridge or Florissant Road or Bermuda, with the exception of 70, it's very difficult for people to get in or out of town in stolen vehicles or people that are wanted for felonious crimes without hitting a flock camera and an officer that's in the area intercepting that person. So we were very strategic about where we put them to be of the greater good to the whole city.
Well, can we be more complicit in getting a camera there on Bermuda and it could go right there where that traffic is?
On
The traffic-
70 in Bermuda?
No. Bermuda and Springdale.
We can't put a $10,000 flock camera at the top of your street.
Well, who says we can't? Who says we can't?
It's on budget.
It's not a main thoroughfare in or out of the city, which is why we wouldn't use that type of technology.
It's very heavy there.
If you would like just a general surveillance camera, then that's something that we could look into that's monitored by the police. But we wouldn't use the flock license plate reading technology on any residential, like a specific residential street.
And I'm not
We use it on the main arterial.
Yeah, I'm not
roads.
familiar with like where that area is, but if there's no traffic going, if there's no traffic,
It's heavy traffic.
Is
And
it
that's what I'm saying.
foot traffic or cars?
Automobiles.
Cars,
yeah.
okay.
There's an apartment complex at the end, and there's a lot of university students and there's a lot of turnover in the apartments because they're the university apartments.
So what about the surveillance, cameras? What would that do? Who would be watching that and then how frequent would it be watched?
So surveillance cameras are not made unless you're in a commercial business, like Macy's and Target. They have surveillance cameras to actively watch patrons to prevent theft. Police departments don't have no police department anywhere in the state has an active surveillance camera that they sit and they monitor 24 hours a day. Surveillance cameras that are placed in residential neighborhoods are made to capture video surveillance footage in the event that there is a crime, to be an extra set of eyes to develop leads for police officers to track down leads to best solve those crimes. But there's no one that can sit and watch it. We need officers patrolling the streets. We don't have anyone that can watch a surveillance camera 24/7.
And I think,
So
the
what
other
would
thing I
be
will
the-
say, I will say this, in the interest of time, I think that's one of the things that probably would go best on a workshop, so we can talk about that. If you wanna place that
We can do that.
on the next workshop for
Mhm.
July, we can have that.
And I'll
Just
bring
for this.
information about the closed circuit surveillance cameras that some police departments are using, so you can take a look at what they have and what they cost and how they work.
But I will also say this, if you are a resident and there is noise going on in your neighborhood at 5 o'clock in the morning, you should definitely call. It is not your job to investigate to figure out
Call
what it
police.
is. You should just call the police and let them figure it out. That is what the police is paid to do.
I
So if
agree.
it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and there is noise going on that is disturbing the neighborhood, you should just call 911.
Yes.
Let the authorities figure it out. That is what 911 is for. It is not your job to investigate, to go outside, did you hear it, call. Just call. That's the best way also for us to keep a record of what
What's
is happening
happening.
in neighborhoods, because then we have information to know we need a greater police presence here at this time and everything like that. But to call the station and to think that someone's going to answer and go out to your neighborhood, that is not how the process works. You need to call 911 if you can't remember the emergency number, and just let us have a record of it so that we know as a council that this is a problem and then we can address it.
And we are 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Nobody is ever off. I'm on vacation right now and I'm in this meeting. So, we're never off. Just call the police.
One
Yes, sir.
question, Sanders, good report. The trunk or treat is gonna be great. It was a great thing to have that, to get it back, because they were asking for it. Question, the UMSL parking lot where the softball field is,
Yes, sir.
there's cars over there that are just sitting. I got a call that there's cars and trucks that are over there now. Do we, patrol that? Is that
On Rosedale or the one over here?
Rosedale.
That's UMSL's property.
That's all UMSL's?
Correct.
So how do we reach UMSL, the police department? if
I
there's
can
a
reach
call?
out to Chief Reed. It just depends on whose vehicles they are. Are these like derelict vehicles that are sitting there?
No, those are, I got a call that there was a car over there for some time, a truck actually, moving back and forward, like there was activity in the truck, something's going on. Then they left and came back, so, just wanted to,
Next time, tell them, call the police so we can get there and we can investigate it. But yes, if there's people that are engaging in long-term parking or there's derelict vehicles, I can just reach out to Chief Reed and ask if he can send his guys over there to investigate.
okay, that sounds good. And another thing, one other thing, now, I know I do this every 2 or 3 months. How many officers do we actually have at this?
Not enough.
What's our number?
Right now, we're authorized at 28, including the school resource officer. We're sitting at 21 full-time officers. We're down 6 people, and then there's a school resource officer.
So we're working 16-hour days?
No, we're working 12, well, it just depends, if someone calls off, but no, we still are on 12-hour days, 12-hour day shifts. We don't have enough manpower to run a 10-hour shift or an 8-hour shift. So we're running a 12-hour shift, which requires reduced manpower, but we just ran another hiring process. We interviewed 3, we have 4 people total in process, but we have 6 openings, and then a school resource officer, so
So we're
7.
serving our contract cities, pretty good?
I'm sorry.
So our contract cities are being served well?
The officers don't have an option of what to patrol and what not to patrol.
Good.
It doesn't matter if we had 2 people, if it's just me and the major and maybe 3, Sergeant Walls back there, we're gonna make sure everything gets patrolled and we're gonna go to all the calls. You know, diminished manpower is not an excuse of police.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Public Works?
I had a
Oh,
question
yeah,
real
I'm
quick.
sorry.
Chief,
Yes.
jail blasters. The jail BB guns, the pellet water BB gun?
Oh.
Like what happened out at the movie theater?
One of our officers was actually working at Creve Coeur when that happened.
Yeah, we're starting to run into that problem in the War One and War Two, where kids are shooting at cars.
Yeah.
They point them at
Oh,
cars.
call us,
or-
we'll seize them.
or, you
Their
know,
evidence.
so-
We'll take them away. They're
Okay.
not cheap. We'll take it. If we catch it, we're taking it. There'd be some
Yeah.
unhappy parents, but
I know they had it on the news, they were just talking about it, it's becoming a
Was that
big
in
idea
Florida?
in North County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've noticed it, I've noticed them going down, Bermuda, and
They
then they
hijacked
point them
him.
at the, cars and stuff, so we talked about it, it's like,
Yeah.
we'll bring it up and see where we're gonna, cause it's getting ready to be a big issue. We've heard the
Mm-hmm.
uptick ever since the movie deal.
yep.
You've been talking about.
You know,
So
all
we
they have to
need
do is
jump
tell
on
one
that.
person that they're doing it, then everyone, you know.
Exactly, so.
Yeah, because I was up in the park one day and two teenagers started shooting at me. I'm
They
like,
shot
what?
you with them?
Yeah, they shot me with it.
You should call
Ran.
us. You should have called us.
I didn't see where they went. I'm like, because that was the first time I seen it. I just heard something going pack, 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 pack. And I'm like, yeah. And they shooting at me running.
So for those that don't know, these are high impact, they're little tiny water-filled projectiles. The guns shoot very rapidly, rapid deployment style. If you guys see the kids out there and they're shooting at anything besides each other in jest, call the police.
Yeah.
Just call
they
us, we'll
shouldn't
come
be
and we'll
shooting
seize
at
them.
Nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna really get hurt, it's gonna take big time.
Yeah, it's getting, yeah.
Public Works Director.
I didn't have anything to add to the written report I gave you all, but I do want to answer a couple of the questions, things that were brought up. First, the tree line at Murchison Tabernacle Church. Last fall and winter, we cut that all down, and it's all back again. So we do have plans to low limb those trees in there, and as far as spraying the fence line, we can do that. So that's an easy fix, Terry. I can do that.
Thank you.
Let's see, the honeysuckle,
Rush honeysuckle.
the honeysuckle
Right.
that's out there by your place and stuff. I
Right,
got
and
to
there's
get
some in
started.
some of the medians
You and
too.
I can talk about it, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do to make that look nice. Okay, that's an easy fix too. San Diego,
Yeah,
we have done about half of that street,
okay.
and the reason the rest of it isn't done is because there's a whole bunch of possum and snakes and stuff in there, and my guys ran out of there.
Okay.
So,
Okay, yeah, 'cause I think they said,
we're planning on trimming it down,
okay.
but right now, Will.
The residents said they stopped up there.
Are scared shitless.
Yeah, they said they stopped up there, so it's like, why did they stop and they haven't been back? So that's why we couldn't do it.
That's why.
Okay,
So,
sounds good.
we are working on it, we do know it's an issue.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave.
And let's see, I'm glad you said something about the trash in the park,
Yeah.
because it took us 9 man-hours to clean that up Monday morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
It was a big
We
part,
gotta-
two big parts.
We gotta come up with an idea for that.
Yeah.
Did we keep the deposit?
Yes, yes, we did on this one.
Thank you.
Sorry, the talking in the gallery, please.
And then we talked about waste management on how to take care of the large pickups. That's, you've got that number and stuff now. We don't do that anymore. I'm sorry, it's not part of what we do.
Right.
So,
Do we still have mattress bags for, excuse me, do we still have mattress bags for people here at
We do not.
City Hall? We don't. Can we get some from Waste Management, does anybody know? We used
that's
to have a
something we can
supply.
look into.
We used to have a supply. The reason why I'm asking is because there are a number of residents, when I drive around, that just have mattresses sitting out, and they are not aware that you have to put a mattress in a bag for them to pick it up. And we used to have a supply of bags.
Yeah, I would-
And that's like a very simple fix, because people leave them out for extended amount of time. And if it gets rained on, a mattress is very heavy to pick up.
I would hope, and I've never called Waste Management, I would hope that they tell people that, but I don't know if they do or not.
It's in the, like, excuse me, it's in the, like, the pamphlet that they send out, but I know we physically, excuse me, I know that we physically used to have, like, mattress packs to, like, give to residents, not bags, to give to residents.
I'll get with Sam and see
Yeah.
if that's something.
The other thing that I think that would be beneficial, like, if we see a mattress out, and if we have bags in the truck, to just like stop at the place if it doesn't have a bag and just say, here is a bag, you know, and everything. I think, like, they don't.
It's just a matter of if
Yeah.
we're gonna get.
So can we check into that, Sam, notice,
Yeah,
to see?
we will, yeah. But other than that, I'm good.
Thank you.
Okay. I have a question for you, Mr. Yarborough and, Mr. Johnson, if you could, listen and if you could, put it in the minutes as well, Ms. Yeah. I have 6 political signs that are missing and you, picked them up. Can you tell me what you did with my signs?
Wait.
I paid good
Wait,
money
wait,
for
wait.
those signs.
That's one of the things that that one thing.
It's addressed to the.
Right.
That's one of the things that, please. That's one of the things that I would like to talk to you about within a meeting with Mr. I'm not doing it. With Mr. Johnson, we can do that later, but right now we need to keep moving forward.
I think she wants to
I
talk
think,
to.
I think we need to keep, if you would like to come and make an appointment, you can all sit down together, that'd be great. But right now, we need to keep it, we need to move forward. Do you have anything else?
That's it.
Mr. Ellis?
Good evening. I want to introduce myself to those that have not seen me or do not know me. My name is Charles Ellis. I'm a certified public accountant, and I serve as the treasurer for the city of Normandy. Present a monthly report based on information that's provided to me by the city administrator to report to the board and the mayor. In the past, I had been presenting a narrative of what that report had been and doing it orally during the meeting. I don't know if that's still needed, whether you still need to verbally have the narrative presented in addition to the report. I am more than happy to do that, but I just wanted to make certain that that was still something that you all needed, considering you have both the report and the narrative itself. So, hearing no objections, I'll go ahead and read the narrative that was submitted. I don't know, Sam, did you get them in narrative? I'm sorry. Because they were kind of late, I'm sorry. So, and again, I'm a full-time finance employee with the St. Louis Public School District. So that's why I may not happen to have all the time in the world that I may need to do this. So again, I appreciate the opportunity. All right. So I'm going to start with part 1, section A, which is the summary of the income statement. So for the month of May, we follow a cycle where we're 2 months behind. So we're not able to exactly have everything immediately for the month prior. So that's why we go the month after that when we do a presentation of our financial reports. So for the month of May, the city recorded a net income of $22,000, which is for revenues of $427,000 versus expenditures of $405,000. Due to that result, the city realized an overall net deficit for the fiscal year to date of $349,000. That's with revenues of $2.947 million versus expenditures of $3.296 million. Okay, so The next part is part 1, section B, which is the summary of the general fund balance. There we have the general fund unrestricted cash balance as of May 31st, which is $1,047,000. Then we have the Village of Glen Echo Park project balance as of May 31st, which is $74,000. Then we have the amount that's held at Simmons Bank as of May 31st, which is a amount deficit of $627,000. Then we have amounts due to general fund from other funds. That amount is $256,000. And then we have amounts due from the general fund to other funds. That amount is $73,000. So the total summary of the general fund balance currently is at $676,000 as of May 31st, 2024. Next, we will go to part 1, section C. That is the income for the general fund. So ideally, the percentage of budget remaining for income in fiscal year to date should be at or below 33.3%, which is evident of 8 months past of a total 12 months for the year. This will also indicate that the amount of actual expenditures was either the same or less than the budgeted amount of expenditures. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong part. I'm sorry. Let me start over. I kind of skipped there. So, yeah, so again, reading under the income, the percentage of budget remaining for income at fiscal year date should be at or below 33.3%, which would indicate that the amount of actual income was either the same or more than the budgeted amount of income. So unfortunately, the city fell short of the budgeted amount of income for fiscal year to date by less than $210,000, or 3.4% of the total budgeted amount. Okay, so for part 1, section D, that's expenditures by department for general fund. And conversely, the percentage of budget remaining for expenditures at fiscal year to date should be at or above 33.3%, meaning that it's in a better state if that amount is higher when you're talking about expenditures, and it's better if it's in a lower state for revenues. That means you're, getting more than you should. So, that indicates that the amount of actual expenditures, again, was either the same or less than the budgeted amount of expenditures. And unfortunately, city spent more than it had budgeted for fiscal year to date by less than $138,000, or 2.9% of the total budget amount. However, when it came to individual departments, some fared better in keeping expenses under budget while others did not. Those departments that performed under budget are the court department and the street department. Those that are over budget, police, administration, park, and prosecuting attorney. Okay. That's all I had for this current report for May of 2024. Does anyone have any questions in this regard?
Yes. Mr. Ellis, on
Yes.
this, as far as the budget, just be straight up with the citizens. Right now, how are we looking for the rest of the year? Are we set to, for a balanced budget?
So here's the situation, Mr. Jackson. I will say with regard to the income, we are below where we should be.
Okay.
And again, that amount was about 3.4%. And that's not too much of a disparity at this point, especially when you're talking about another 4 months that we still need to account for the year. It all depends on how aggressive we will be with certain items, particularly I would say with regard to the sales tax and the contracts, which appear to be the largest areas that we need to look at. I'm pretty sure that either the needed items for what I had just identified can be met, or we could always consider a revision, you know, in order to make sure that it is balanced before the end of the year.
Okay. But we shouldn't need an amendment.
Well, I would think it would need to be heavily scrutinized prior to year end, yes.
So we shouldn't have to add anything to it?
Not at this point.
Okay.
Maybe in the next month or two.
Well, we have an amendment on the agenda tonight.
Okay.
Well, that's
So
good.
we'll talk about that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis.
All right. Oh, one other thing. I want to say a couple things. First, I want to commend Councilman Evans on your jersey, sir.
Well, thank you.
That's the best, well, for those that aren't familiar with the Negro Leagues, that's the best Homestead Grays jersey I've ever seen.
Oh.
So, very nice.
Thank you.
All right. Second thing, I just want to assure the council, for whatever reason, I want to make sure that, again, as Mayor Pro Tem Campbell had noted, we want to try to leave the past in the past, and I know that there may have been some things said about some monies that may have been missing. I heard that that's what was said. At the time that I had addressed the council, I noted that I had never said that personally, that I knew of anything like that. But what I will say is that I have not been presented with any type of specific documents or evidence that that has been the case. So, until I'm asked to look into it and dive into it, then I have no acknowledgement of it. But what I will do is just allow those that want me to work to, you know, have that done. If that needs to be looked into, that's fine, just to let me know. But until then, I have not seen anything or not aware of anything at all.
Thank you, Mr. Evans.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis.
Okay, thank you.
All right, moving on to old business. We don't have any old business.
No business, only
New
business.
business.
We need to get an approval from the.
Oh, can I have approval of the financial report?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Pass. No old business. Wait, where is my agenda? Oh, New business. Council Bill 24-15, an ordinance of the City of Normandy amending the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2024 budget. And this is something that Sam's gonna speak to because we have some things that are under, like Mr. Ellis just talked about, under performance, so we need to make some adjustments.
All right, yeah, so, in your package should be the budget amendment. If you turn to page 8 of the budget amendment, it's gonna be a summary of the general fund, and that's just for the purposes of the first reading here. I think this is the best place to just kind of go through things on a broader level in the general fund about the adjustments that we are going to make to the budget as we near the end of the fiscal year, September 30th. For revenues, and you can see in the revenue summary, our main changes, the most significant changes are we're going to revise down the amount that we expected to receive for fines and court costs, intergovernmental revenue, and contract revenue. Fines and court costs, we're revising down over $190,000. I largely contribute this to as Chief spoke to earlier, we're having some issues staying at full staff in the police department. It's a very competitive market for police, and as a result, we haven't had our traffic unit fully staffed. We did have it partially staffed towards the beginning of the fiscal year, but since January, we haven't had it fully staffed. For contract revenue, very similar situation with the SRO. We had to prorate some of our contracts with the school district because we were unable to provide an SRO towards the end of the school year. We were able to fulfill that contract partially, and we were able to work with the school district on that. But in addition to a court contract that we thought we were going to get, but then the municipality did not end up contracting with us, that amount is revised down. And related to that court contract, we were planning on adding another person for that contract, so we just didn't add the extra person. Finally, intergovernmental revenue is a significant decrease, about $90,000. This was grants that we did not receive in the amount that we thought we were going to when we created the budget. One had to do with some drug asset forfeitures. We did not receive as much of the share as we initially thought we did, and admittedly, it's a learning curve working with the DEA for myself in the police department. But that just means that drug money you have to spend on very specific purposes, so we're receiving less of that money, about $60,000. So we just won't spend that $60,000 on the extra kind of toys and tools for the police department and drug asset that will help with drug asset forfeiture. The other one, and a bit on the smaller scale, we had our tree grant this year. We had an issue with our contractor, and we weren't able to complete all the work that we set out to, so we received less of the grant, but we also, again, on the revenue side, that's also taken out. So overall, we're looking at revising our revenues down for fiscal year 2024, about $300,000. And so to adjust for that, on the expenditure side, in this budget amendment, we were able to cut where we could. We had quite a few positions that we kept unfilled, and so we were able to cut $210,000 on the expenditure side. $146,000 of that was personnel costs. We never filled the part-time receptionist position up front here at City Hall because frankly towards the middle of the fiscal year, we had an idea that we were going to be under budget on the revenue, so we knew we had to cut somewhere. Same thing with the courts, and the police department being understaffed means that there's positions that we budgeted that we haven't filled, so there's some extra money there. Additionally, operating expenses, we were able to cut down $81,000, and we did have a few unexpected capital expenses. We had an air conditioner go out at City Hall, as well as some repairs down at Public Works for the leaf vac and limb chipper that offset that. So overall, we're decreasing our revenues by $300,000. We're decreasing our expenditures by $500,000. That does mean that this proposed budget amendment does have a $90,000 deficit. That's about 2% of our revenue. To put that into perspective, and put that against our $1.6 million that we have in reserves. I would not say that's a significant impact, but it is not ideal. But this is what I'm presenting to the council for the fiscal year 2024 amendment. Again, we do want to revise these things down and plan where we cut. That way, when we don't go over budget on anything, and so that our audit goes smoothly next year. Are there any questions about the general fund? This will go to a workshop, and then it will be for second reading at the August meeting. So there's plenty of time for questions in between. Unless there are any questions about the general fund, I'll make a brief note about the non-major funds. In addition, we budgeted the dissolution of the TIF fund, which you can see on pages, you can see it really on pages 13 through 16. In dissolving the TIF, we paid out the almost $1.2 million that we had in the TIF fund. About 900,000 of that went actually to our other funds in the city of Normandy, so that money stays within the city of Normandy. The rest went to St. Louis County and was dispersed throughout the political subdivisions in our area. And so those are the most significant changes. I also note in the street improvement fund, there were some revisions made as we're getting later in the summer, and we got our street assessment back a little bit later, and we want to make sure that we coordinate with Missouri American Water and MSD. We're not looking at completing a street project before the end of the fiscal year. So, though that has been amended, and we will save that money for next fiscal year for street projects. And that's all I have for the budget amendment.
Thank you. Any questions?
Save it for the workshop.
We need a first and a second for
First reading.
Sorry, can I get a first and a second for the first reading of Council Bill 24-15?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Number 2 on the agenda, resolution number 24-27, a resolution for the city of Normandy.
Excuse me. You need to read the bill.
I gotta read the whole thing?
Just the
Just the
Just the
title?
title.
Wait, can I read it from the agenda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Council Bill number 24-15, an ordinance of the city of Normandy, Missouri, amending the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2024 budget. Do it again?
That's just the first one.
Resolution number 24-27, a resolution of the city of Normandy, Missouri, granting a liquor license to Honey's Wine Bar for service of liquor of all kinds and all kinds on Sunday at 7312 Natural Bridge Road. So we've already heard from the owner and also from citizens. Are there any more comments or questions or anything from council members? All right, so it's time for the vote.
Motion to approve.
I'll make
Can I
a
have a
motion.
motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
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 All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution number 24-28, a resolution of the city of Normandy renewing liquor licenses for the 2024-25 license year. This is a liquor license for, there was only one.
Councilwoman Campbell, I just wanted to point out that I gave a new copy.
Yeah,
of
there's
that
only
resolution.
one business in here.
Another business had failed to complete and turn in
Does
their
everyone
application in
see
time for tonight's
their-
meeting.
Their paper.
Must
You should have one as a chart, it's only one business.
Same name.
It'll have a memo in the front of it and the resolution behind it.
I think it's Saint Anne.
Same name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, was it Glen Echo?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
it's
Glen.
It was Glen Echo. It was Glen Echo.
So just to be clear, this resolution will approve the renewal of Glen Echo Country Club liquor license. We are still waiting for the other applications, and we're gonna follow up with them, and we should have those at the workshop.
So there are about 3 businesses that didn't get theirs in.
Yeah, because they normally do it at the same time.
Yeah, so there are 3 businesses, Wayland,
St. Anne,
St.
Anne,
Radical Country
and
Club.
Thompson.
oh wait, and the gas station.
So the gas
And
station.
so 4.
Yeah.
So 4 businesses that haven't got theirs in. So this one is just for Glen Echo Country Club. Alright, so, can I have a? We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Can I have a first and a second for the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. And it's my understanding that just so the businesses are clear, that Kiana's gonna call to give them a heads up and let them know that they cannot serve liquor, they cannot sell liquor.
As of August 1st.
Yeah, as of August 1st. So we should have it at our next workshop, if they get the papers in and everything, so they get it.
Notices for sent out on June 17th.
Yeah, so hopefully on the next workshop. Resolution number 24-29, a resolution of the City of Normandy appointing broker for 7733 Natural Bridge Road. This is we kind of talked about this before, about the Simmons Bank, the selling of the property across the street, so I'm gonna let Sam take this one.
Yeah, and maybe Lindy has some insight as well, but we entered into, obviously we have some litigation going on with Simmons Bank regarding the loan across the street. We entered into a consent order, I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and part of the consent order is that they would like us to appoint a broker of their choosing to market the property while the litigation goes on, so hopefully we can liquidate the building while we still, have the loan contested. So we went ahead and put the resolution on our agenda because we were supposed to do it as soon as possible. However, Simmons Bank has still not provided us with the broker that they would prefer. So I would recommend that the council postpone this to the July workshop meeting. And as soon as they give us the broker name, then it'll be up for your guys' approval to appoint that broker.
Can I get a motion to postpone?
Or the table?
Postpone.
Postpone.
To the July workshop.
To the July 20, what's the date?
July.
July 20th.
I'll make that.
25th? Okay. Can I get a motion to postpone to the July 25th workshop?
Motion.
Resolution number.
Second.
Is there a certain wording you need, or is that good enough?
Motion to postpone to the July 20th.
Yeah, motion to
Okay.
postpone to July, okay.
First and a second? I didn't know who got it.
First, I mean, yeah, I did
You
first,
can.
yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. A resolution 24-30, a resolution of the City of Normandy authorizing the city administrator to enter into an agreement to provide court services to the City of Hillsdale. So this is a contract that we currently have, and they're looking for a renewal. And I'm gonna let Sam take this because there's a change in the fees.
Yeah, so we entered into our last contract with Hillsdale about 2 years ago. And the terms of the contract were pretty simple. It was a base $2,000 a month fee for court services, which their court is a little bit smaller, so, but the renewal, we've kind of renewed all of our terms with the rest of our court contract cities. So we're increasing the base fee by $250 a month, so it will now be $22.50 a month. We're also charging an additional $250 for our prosecuting attorney assistant services. We also added a clause that if we were providing those services is also an option to the city, so it's a mutual option for the assistant. In addition to that, we added a clause that any clerk fees that are connected with court costs for any case that pays the municipal court, those fees will go to us, so that's about $10 a case. So the cases that they bring into our court and we process, they're basically paying us per case for that. All in all, we're looking at what I think is a fair increase in the contract in the past few years, given inflation. And they're going to consider this at their meeting tomorrow. Hopefully, I haven't heard any objections. And so hopefully we can renew with them and keep working with the village of Hillsdale.
Any questions from anyone? All right. Can I have a first and a second on resolution 24-31?
So moved.
Wait, I'm sorry, that's not the right one. Resolution dash, can I have a first and a second on resolution dash 24-30? A first and a second.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 6, a resolution Resolution number 24-31, a resolution of the City of Normandy awarding a bid for a Hosel Park invasive removal project and authorizing the city officials to execute a contract on behalf of the City of Normandy and the winning bidder. So this is a grant that Beyond Housing found for us to get rid of the honeysuckle and all of that at Hosel Park.
Okay, yeah.
So we had two bids. The first bid was Native Landscape Solutions, and they came in at $26,000. And then the other bid was DJM. They came in at $27,000. And so the grant is for $25,000, right, Sam?
Yes.
So the city would be responsible for the difference. And Beyond Housing did say that they recommended it. They had a preference.
I'm sorry. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I talked with Jack McDonald at Beyond Housing. He's a community forester over there. He's the one who's been helping us with this project. He recommended that we go with the lower bidder, which is Native Landscapes Solutions. He's familiar and he's worked with them. Actually, when they took over the native prairie behind City Hall, they removed some honeysuckle, and it looks a lot better back there, especially when you go down towards the creek. So he knows their work. He vouches for them. So they're a reputable company, and they have the lower bid. So I would recommend a motion to amend 2431 to insert the contractor name of Native Landscape Solutions Incorporated and the amount number of $26,866.66.
I have a question about this grant. As far as the removal of the honeysuckle, how far back are they going around the entire park?
Yeah, so the scope of the project is actually the entire acreage of the park.
Okay.
And my understanding is along the trails that have kind of become overgrown over the years, they're going to mostly do the machine mulcher, whereas the areas beyond the trail, they're gonna basically go in there by hand and pull apart and they're gonna get all the major stuff out. And then it's gonna be on us, and the community foresters at Beyond Housing have told us that they're willing to help train us on going in there and making sure it doesn't come back, treating it with weed killer and pulling out anything that is left behind. But to answer your question, the scope of work includes the entire park.
Okay.
It's all the way down to the creek, back on the side there, but you were interested in opening that back up, so you can sit, that's part of it.
Okay.
Do I need to do a,
Yeah, we need a
we have to
motion.
put the names?
Yeah, a motion to
So I
amend the
need a-
name and amount.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve entering Native Landscaping as the contractor, and also the amount of $26,886.66 for services as described.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution number.
Hold on.
What?
So now we need a motion
now I need a
to
motion for that.
approve as amended.
Can I get a motion to approve as amended?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any opposed? All in favor, sorry. Any opposed? Ayes have it. I lost my new agenda. Mine starts at 8. I don't know what's coming next.
24.
Fast one.
No, we're supposed to have
No.
10, right?
Yes, but the two other items came after this.
That's
agenda,
separate.
which
It's separate.
separated.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, when I get to 8, I don't have anything, just so you know. All right.
You ain't had 8,
No, I'm stopping at 8 because I don't have anything else.
right, you
So
don't
I
have
need
8.
9 and 10.
We don't have, we
Well,
don't. It's a
I'll
minute.
help you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so, I'm on 7, right?
Number 7.
Okay, resolution number 24-32, a resolution for the city of Normandy authorizing a planning grant application to the municipal Park Grant Commission of St. Louis County, and authorizing the city administrator to enter into an agreement with SWT Design for the creation of a Parkchester Park Master Plan. So this is a recommendation from the Parks Board. They went through and looked at the proposals, and they decided that they wanted to recommend to the council that SWT Design be considered for the Parkchester Park Master Plan. And then I'll give it over to Sam.
Yeah, and we received 3 responses, one from Planning Design Group and the other from Kirshner Architects, and then of course SWT. SWT does a lot of park master plans across St. Louis County. Master plans are a key part of the municipal park grant application process for construction grants. So they're very well versed in creating master plans that check all the boxes for the Municipal Park Grant Commission, and they've done literally dozens. I mean,
it was an impressive list.
Yeah, and actually they did a master plan process for us in 2015 for Wholesale Park, so they do have some familiarity with us as well. And in addition, this resolution also authorizes me to go ahead and apply for a planning grant, which will pay for their services to create the master plan. I believe although we would be on the hook, it's a $10,000 grant and we have to pay at least $2,000. So we're still working out the final contract with SWT, but we'd be on the hook for $2,000, and hopefully this master plan will help us get several $100,000 in grants down the line over the next 5 years.
Sam, that money would come out of the parks budget?
Yes, it will come out of the Parks and Stormwater Fund. It wouldn't even be in general fund.
Can I get a first and a second for resolution 24-32?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Number 8, approval of,
I believe that it's approval of the transportation, multi-jurisdictional
That's what I have on mine. Is
transportation
that right?
development district. Yeah.
all right, approval of 24-24,
It's not-
24-1 joint multi-jurisdictional transportation development district.
So this is actually not approval, it's just an update. Late yesterday, we got a memo and an email from Beyond Housing, who's kind of helping put the 24-1 TDD together. They did revise their numbers and they were very transparent about where they got their numbers from. And so they have the final numbers, but they are recommending that this could, originally they were shooting for the November ballot, they're now shooting for the April ballot. So when we first got the email, we scrambled to put it on the agenda, but it's on the April ballot, so we'll consider this when we have some more time at the next meeting. So that's just an update.
Okay, now I'm done, I don't have anything.
All right.
I need 19.
That is the 2 resolutions, so I believe you should have a resolution 2433 and a 2434.
Yes.
Yes.
2434?
33 and 34.
Is that the new one?
2433?
Yes,
Okay.
those were submitted today.
A resolution number 2433. You got this on your desk. You should have it. There should be 2 parts. There should be this and a contract.
Yeah.
So this is the, I didn't finish reading, sorry. A resolution of the City of Normandy authorizing the city administrator to enter into a sale agreement for the real property of 7733 Brand Avenue. So, this is where we actually sold the house, and then we talked about how the
Right.
licensing transfer, and then the other, the previous, what do you call it, person that was purchasing it, they backed up. And so now we have a new buyer.
Okay.
So this is the contract with the new buyer.
Is it at the same price that the?
No, they knocked the price down 500. So as she was, we had some issues with the title company. They were taking quite a while. We got one extension that ran till yesterday. This morning, the title company's ready to close, but the seller now wants to back out. So he's gone. So luckily we had multiple offers. And so right before the meeting, we were able to get an offer in from the next highest bidder, so that's 9,500. And it's already made it through title company, so there should be no issues this time.
Can I get a first and a second for resolution number 24-33?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Ayes have it. The last, resolution number 24-34, resolution of the City of Normandy in support of the Normandy Police Department's application to the United States Department of Justice for a competitive grant to assist in the implementation of the broad-scale body-worn camera program. Why so many B's? So this is what Chief Sanders was talking about with the grant that they're going to submit. Any questions?
Here,
Yeah.
I apologize about this, but our legal counsel here is recommending that we add just one sentence to the resolution. So she thinks it would be good that, and I agree, it would be good to add that an additional sentence that the city administrator is authorized to execute any documents relating thereto.
Where did we put that?
That would be right at the bottom of the page, right after the sentence ending in grant program.
And that just means what, Sam? Explain.
That just means this resolution generally is giving authorization to submit the grant. But sometimes when you submit a grant, there's like 5 different documents that you have to sign. So just to catch all, it's just gonna give staff authority to sign whatever we need to sign to get the grant in.
So what's that language again? Is that?
Authority, the city administrator is hereby authorized to execute any documents necessary to carry out submission of the grant.
Are you good, Kelly? Do you have an amendment?
Oh, it's okay, I'm just gonna go.
Do we need to have an
First,
well, for the
amendment, and then, yes, authorize approval as amended.
Do I need to read that sentence?
can I say so moved up?
I would ask the city clerk, are you good on the terms of the amendment?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Can I have a first and a second for the amendment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Can I have a first and a second for resolution number 24-34, a resolution of the City of Normandy, Missouri, in support of the Normandy Police Department's application to the United States Department of Justice for a competitive grant to assist in the implementation of board-scale body-worn camera program.
As amended.
As amended. First,
So moved.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Where's my- I lost this. Oh, I got it. Citizen comments. Any other anybody else wanted to, that did not get to make a citizen comment? Kiana?
I'm sorry.
Dolores Hill, 7700 Contour Drive. You all keep telling the citizens that we have bulk pickup through waste management, and it's part of our fees. They will charge you extra for bulk pickup. It's not in no pamphlet that y'all keep referring to. There's no pamphlet that says that they'll do a bulk pickup. The bulk pickup that they do is you put items in the big, large, black construction bags, and they will pick those up. But you're limited to how many you can put out of that. Anything else is 2 items, and the 2 items combined cannot weigh more than 100 pounds, or you will pay extra. Stop telling us that we have a bulk pickup through Waste Management when we do not. Because you're confusing people who don't understand or who are not knowledgeable. And then Chief Sanders is saying, go to somebody, see somebody, something to find out information. Normandy is consistent of senior citizens that are not tech savvy. Some of us, a lot of us, do not have access to computers or a cell phone. I got a cell phone and I really don't know how to work it. And I'm not trying to, you got to get a new PIN number, a new password for everything, every app that you put on your phone. Some things that you all are suggesting that, well, you got access to this and you got access to that. No, we don't. Because a lot of our children don't live near us. They live out of town. So who we gonna contact? We gonna contact you every time we need to go to an app? You gonna walk us through every time we need to go through an app? No, you're not. So I appreciate the new newsletter that's gonna come out. But like I said once before, and I'll say it again, this is the city of Normandy. And all the citizens need to know all the council people. And all the council people need to be trying to connect with their citizens.
30 seconds, right?
I don't care if it's 40 seconds left. And the police department ain't been out there like they proclaiming that they have. Tell the truth and stop lying.
Amen.
Trying to cover up.
Is that the last one? I need a motion to close this session.
Motion.
And to, wait, I'm not done. To go close this session, we have a personnel issue. I need a motion.
Sorry, if I may, Mayor Pro Tem, yeah, you have to state the statute and the section number, so.
For the closed session?
Yeah, to enter by
Okay.
statute.
I need a motion to close this session and to enter into a closed session RSMO 610.021-3 for a personnel issue.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
No, it has to be a roll call vote,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry, roll call vote.
Councilman Sachsenheimer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Claiborne? Yes. Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Evans?
Yes.
Councilwoman Shivers? Yes. Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Diaz? Yes.
Let's go right into it.